I'm gonna tell you about the worst open house experience that I've ever had, and it completely changed the entire course of my real estate career. You know, I feel like it's important to share these things, to share these stories, to share times when things weren't the best and things weren't good. And so in this video, I'm gonna tell you about one of my open houses that I will never, ever, ever forget in my whole life. It completely changed my real estate career. This story dates back to probably around 2014, and it was my first listing that I had ever gotten. So I was so excited to start servicing it, to host open houses, to get more leads. Like, I felt like I halfway made it because I had a listing, something to call my own. Like any great agent, what I started doing was I started hosting open houses. And to be honest with you, I didn't have anything else going on besides my normal lead generating activity. So open houses were pretty much what I did. Like, I did them all the time. I would get up early on Saturday mornings, go out, I would put the signs out in the ground, and you know how they tell you to put signs around the property and down the street, and I had signs at every corner. I had some signs from Home Depot, and some were from my brokerage, and some were signs that I had actually gotten made. But I had signs everywhere, and I was doing this week after week after week after week. I probably did maybe around like 4 or 5 of them just consecutively, and now I was on the 6th one. This morning I woke up, I was eager to get out, and I quickly left the house to go and put my signs out because I was told that you're supposed to get the signs out super early so that people can see them, and don't put them out the night before because people may take them. So I was just following instructions at this point. I was still new in the business, so I didn't have anything else to lose. The only thing that was different about this morning was when I was leaving the house, my lights turned off. So all my electricity went off, and you know, I knew why it went off because I didn't pay the bill, but I had to go and host this open house. So I was gonna kind of stress out about that, but then I was like, no, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna sell this house today. So I get out there, I go and I put out the signs, and it's actually a nice day. Like I said, this is my 6th time hosting this open house, but today it felt special. Even though I was leaving the house with the lights off, it felt special. The sun was bright, the birds were chirping, you know, people were walking around the neighborhood. It was just a very pretty picture. So I got in the home, turned all the lights on, put my papers where they needed to go. I still had photocopies from previous open houses, so everything was all set, you know, and here I was standing tall. I had unlocked the door, and I was ready for the open house. I took a couple pictures to put on Facebook to let people know that, hey, come out to my open house, I'm here. I think that day I was hosting it from 11 to 2, so a very long open house. But again, my lights were off, so I couldn't really be at home, and I didn't have anything else to do. So I was in there. I remember I was going around turning on all the lights, and you know, it was extremely quiet, and it was kind of cold in there because the AC wasn't working, and I mean the heater wasn't working, and it was like the winter time, and so it was kind of cold. It was a vacant house, so there was no chairs, there was nothing. You would literally walk around and you would hear every step because it was wood, and it was an older home, but it had nice character. So I was turning on all the lights, and there was a lot of rooms, and there was a lot of light switches, and I was just, you know, doing my job and getting ready for everything. And the first hour of the open house passed, nobody came in, and you know, I would look out the window to see if anybody was walking in my direction, but nobody was really coming in. And then the 2nd hour passed, still no visitors, and I was like, wow. I was just continuing, just sitting there waiting. Again, I didn't have any chairs to sit on. It was a vacant house. I was just walking around the house, and it was kind of cold in there. and it was a vacant house, so it was super quiet. I didn't have any music, just a real cold feeling. And by the third hour, with no visitors, that cold feeling just overtook me. And I went and locked the door, and I had a breakdown. I was cold. I was in this empty house. There was nobody coming in. My lights were off at home. I didn't really have any food in my refrigerator. And I was out here for the 6th time holding this same house open that nobody was buying. And all of my circumstances just overcame me in that one moment. And I just kind of fell to the ground. I'm not gonna be ashamed of this, but I literally started bawling, and I was like, what the crap is going on? Like, why am I even doing this? Why am I putting myself through this? Why am I even trying to do this real estate thing? Like, it was taking over my whole just being. That one moment, my whole life was questioned. I was literally questioning my whole direction in life, and I didn't know what I was gonna do. I didn't know what I was gonna do during that open house. I didn't know what I was gonna do when I left. I was too ashamed to tell anybody that I was even in the position that I was in financially, because people knew that I was out there working, and they saw my marketing that I was putting out, and they didn't know that I was struggling. You know, I got up, I unlocked the door, still nobody came the whole time, and I left. And I drove home to go home to my dark house. That was literally the lowest point that I have ever been, I feel like, in my whole life. Like, not just as a real estate agent, but in my whole life, where I felt like every single circumstance, everything that I was trying to do was not working out. Nothing was working out. And I couldn't see past like what was in front of me. I couldn't see what I was gonna be doing next. I couldn't even see myself going home. You know, what was I gonna do when I got there? I couldn't see anything. And I had to ask for help. So that will always be known as my worst open house. Thank you for watching this video. Here's another video that you might find interesting. Go ahead and click on that, and it'll take you straight to the video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe button below. It's just a circular picture with my face in it. So click on that, and it'll subscribe you to my channel for more videos like these. Again, thank you for watching.